This is garbage. And you know it is. And nobody's disrespecting anybody, you or your family, anybody else. That's completely absurd. Have a good day. 866-99 Serious. See, I got quiet when I asked him that. What about the owners? What about when they do it? What about the white players? They've been out there doing it. Joining us now, the president of the NAACP, Derrick Johnson. Derrick, how are you this morning, man? God bless you.
Good morning, Mark. And I should ask, how are you? Take a breath. Take a breath.
I'm fine. I'm fine. Well, first of all, Derrick, is the NAACP had a chance to react to the suspension of Jemele Hill by ESPN?
You know, it is outrageous that you have individuals who express their opinion to the viewing audience and get political pressure to dismiss someone for all practical purposes is stating not only her opinion, but in many cases, a truth.
Yeah.
And you know, sports, I remember being in high school, and I had a teacher say, sports is the new day slavery, particularly college sports. Mm-hmm. Because you have players on the field making billions of dollars for college teams, and they get nothing out of the deal. You have sports channels making billions of dollars, and it's okay as long as we run the ball, dribble the ball, dunk the ball. But as soon as a player have an opinion, in this case, a sports announcer have an opinion, then there's something wrong with that. We really need to be recalibrating the value of our participation, our physical participation on the field, and making sure that we're respected for our intellectual ability as well, and that we have opinions, whether we are on the field taking a knee or a commentator on a broadcast. It is unconscionable what's taking place right now.
Will the NAACP make a formal statement or even reach out to Jemele Hill and come to her defense?
Yes. I mean, I think we may have already issued a statement, or a statement is forthcoming today. I mean, when we get to a place in this nation where people lose the right to have an opinion, then we have a problem. So absolutely, yes.
866-99 Serious, 866-997-4748. You mentioned modern day slavery. Isn't that true with the professionals? Anytime you have a Jerry Jones threatening to bench players if they don't stand for the national anthem, and here you have a league that is 70% African American. Seems to me, Derrick, that's a little bit of that's slavish too, as a matter of fact.
Well, his statements, his actions are two different things, right? I don't disagree with his statement, but his actions, he's went out there and stood with his players. Why? Because he understands that if those players sit down, he makes no money. And so making the statements is one thing, and I disagree with the statement. But let's see if he take action. And if he take action, then it is truly incumbent upon the players to unify like they've never done before.
Right.
Because this is about suffocating their voice. And if they do that to one or two, they would do it to all.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I agree with you. I support the players as well. I support Jemele Hill. We're in this climate these days, Derrick, where I think the NAACP is more relevant than ever before, especially with a leader in office, a president in office, who wants to foment so much racial division and strife. Would you not agree?
Absolutely. But one of the things we have to do as a community, as an organization, we can't be ambulance chasers either. We can't chase after every incident. We really need to be buckling down and focusing on how do we bring some common sense to this process through our active participation and organizing folks to get to the polls when relevant. Because at the end of the day, power is only going to respond to those who have control. And if we're outside of the process, then we're going to have this, particularly when you have an individual like the president of the White House. 2018 was paramount. We got to bring a different level of balance back to the political landscape. And so we can react to these scenarios. But for us as an organization, we have to be preparing for next year's election cycle. That's most important. The adults in the room, and we got to be the adults in the room, cannot be on the playground reacting to every name call. Because we know that where that leads. We have to be strategizing so the playground looks different and we have a clear voice around impacting public policy.
866-99 Series, Interim President of NAACP, Derrick Johnson with us, folks. Now, the NAACP has also taken a position and made a statement with regards to Trump's latest immigration principles.
We not only take the same, of course, we filed a lawsuit.
That's right. Filed a lawsuit, right.
That's right. We filed a lawsuit, and that's the game we want to be in. Reacting to comments is not going to get us to where we need to do. We need to use the levels of power to put people in a better position. That's through our electoral process, that's through the courtrooms, and when necessary, that's demonstrated, but demonstrators should be leading to an outcome. And so for us, we're looking at how do we leverage and access government in a way in which we expand protection and not react to comments and statements. Because I've been looking at this. Every 2 to 3 days, there's a new divisive issue that bubbles up. But while it's bubbling up, public policy is being made. Executive orders are being issued or rescinded.
Yeah.
Individuals are being exploited. Opportunities are being lost. And we're distracted looking at something going on over here when the real game is being advanced and we are not in that conversation in a way in which we're protecting the rights of others.
Yeah. You mentioned voting. October 16th, folks, is the last day to register to vote in Virginia, New Jersey for the upcoming gubernatorial elections on November 7th. That is a sacred day. Be sure that you're registered if you're in Virginia, New Jersey. Check with your loved ones in Virginia and New Jersey. Contact them, call them, make sure they're registered, up to date, know where to vote, no drama. That's what we need to do. October 16th in Virginia and also in New Jersey. As Derrick said, these our vote in these elections coming up are very, very important. Derrick,
and the Senate race in Alabama in December.
That's right.
People, write off some of the Deep South states, but we have to be engaged. I think it was about 8% of the voting age population voted on the Republican side. It ain't just us that don't vote. We have a problem with voting in this country at a percentage that represent all of the voices. For the December special election for the U.S. Senate race, African American Alabama need to turn out in record numbers, because if we don't, who would represent us in that state is something that's a throwback to the 1940s.
Yeah. Roy Moore with his gun on stage at his victory party, no less.
He was not fit to sit on the Supreme Court, twice removed from the Alabama Supreme Court, and now he's going to be U.S. Senator. If we don't participate, we got to turn out. We can't respond to every fire that flow around. We need to step up. And what a day it would be if we wake up the morning after the Alabama election and African Americans and other caring folks in Alabama truly stand up and reject the notion of him sitting in the U.S. Senate.
That would be a great day. Folks, of course, we also invite you to join the NAACP. Go to NAACP.org and join up. Let's get a quick call in for Derrick before we go. Anita's in Jersey. Anita, speaking of New Jersey, Anita, God bless you. Good morning. Get woke. Get ready for impeachment. You're on the air with the interim president of the NAACP, Derrick Johnson. Go right ahead.
Good morning. I'm woken. I'm ready. I'm on my speakerphone because I'm in my car driving to work right now.
Yes,
but
ma'am.
I just want to say, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yes.
Okay, I just want to say that I think seeing that the NFL is 70% black players, they should sit their asses down. Don't play. Call the bluff because it's strength in numbers, and they don't realize the power they have. I'm really hoping that they'll just say, you know, to hell with it. I'm going to take a stance. And again, everybody's getting off. It's not about this daggone flag. It's about police brutality. It's about a black man being afraid to drive without being pulled over and killed by the cops. They're missing the point. And somebody needs to give Colin Kaepernick a daggone job. I'm sick of this shit. He needs a daggone job. And I'm hoping he was smart enough, and I'm sure he was, to save his money so that he can say, hell, I just go teach now. Because he's so passionate. But he is our new Muhammad Ali. He's taking a stand for what he believes in, even though it's costing him the game that he's so passionate about playing. But he needs, A, a job, and B, we need to focus on the police brutality. It's not about the flag. But Donald Trump is such a fat freaking bully. He's like a shit kicker is what we call him. He likes to keep shit going all the time. He just likes to keep a mess going when he's not even focusing on politics and being presidential.
Puerto Rico.
In an ACP. Yeah, it's stupid. Just a fat, stupid frog. That's what he is, a fat frog.
Puerto Rico.
And I like frogs. I don't want to insult frogs like that.
Derrick, what would happen, just to game this out, I know the NAACP is not taking this position, but legally, what would happen if the NFL players were to go on strike? What would be, do they have, I'm presuming they probably don't have a right to strike in their contract, but I mean, it seems to me that if you got a 70% black employee base and you're threatening them, you kind of daring them to strike, Derrick.
Well, you know, I'm glad to call it, brought the main thing to the main thing. This is not about aggressive policing and police killing black folks. And the first thing I would like to see the NFL players do is speak to the issue, not the diversion. See, it's easy to get people riled up against the players if you're talking about where they disrespected the flag. Come to the issue that is aggressive policing and killing black folks in the street. If we do that, that then begins to change the narrative and the way in which they can respond. If the players strike, if they take a unified collective action, then the players will have the power, not the owners, not all of the fans who disagree with them, because there will be nothing for the fans to see. There will be no money for the owners to make, and the players can assert that we will be respected, we will have voice, and our rights will not be trampled over. And what rights is that? The right to say that I'm an African American and I should not be victimized by aggressive policing, nor should anyone else in my community.
That's a good point, because that is one of the things that's happening. The people aren't clear as to what the purpose is, what people are standing up for or standing up against, and they've been able to spin it in such a way to make it seem as if folks are just randomly disrespecting the flag, and that's not what they're doing at all. We're going to stay in New Jersey. Lou's also in New Jersey. Lou, God bless you. Good morning. Get woke. You're on there with Derrick Johnson and the NAACP, please.
Oh, good morning. Thank you. I think that one of the things, all that stuff is true, but one of the things about the military folks are coming out and saying, hey, you're disrespecting me, is that, no, we're actually, in a sense, we're respecting you because you fought. Like I heard a military guy on the radio say, I didn't fight for that guy to kneel at the anthem. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You fought for that. We have to live up to the ideals of the country. We have to live up to the ideals of America. That's what it's about.
Right.
We're not living up to it. The guys are kneeling, like Chris Costas said. That is the best. I mean, what I think they should do, everybody ought to kneel for the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody kneel. What are you going to do? You're going to bench us all? Go for it. Go for it. You know what? Keep benching me every week. Then next week I'll go work for another team, and your team isn't going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
They should all do. If I were the best guy on the team, I would say, guys, we're all going to kneel. He's not going to bench us, and it's going to look stupid, just like Donald Trump looks stupid every time he threatens and does all this silly nonsense with North Korea or whatever. And that's what they have to do.
I wouldn't be surprised if next Sunday all the players on the Dallas Cowboys,
every single player,
and just
Every
dare
player
and
has
just
to
dare.
do it.
I mean, he kind of. I think that's what you were saying, Derrick. You want to see, we see his words, but see, because Jerry Jones kind of painted himself into his own corner with that threat. What is he going to do if every single player kneels?
Exactly.
And what would happen to the discussion if all the players are clear about why they're kneeling? We're not
Right.
kneeling to disrespect the flag. We're kneeling because of aggressive policing. You know, Mark, it's just like the March on Washington. The best speaker at the march that A. Philip Randolph organized and Byron Russia coordinated was Martin Luther King. But you think Martin Luther King organized the march and you think his speech was about a dream. They got control of the narrative and have us thinking something different than what the facts are. The fact about his speech was that the country is not living up to its obligation, which is immortalized in the Constitution, and that they were marching there to hold the country accountable to treat all citizens with dignity and respect with equal protection under the law. But we're talking about a dream, and what he was talking about was making sure that the Constitution was upheld.
Yeah.
We cannot allow other people to control our narrative. We got to control the narrative. And if the players took a strike, they got to be clear. This is not about the flag. It's about aggressive policing. It's about police officers killing unarmed African Americans across the country and not being held accountable.
Lou, thank you for your call. Derrick Johnson, the president of the NAACP. Folks, join the NAACP, NAACP.org. Derrick, thank you as always, my friend.
Thank you.
We'll talk next week. And folks, those of you watching us on Facebook and YouTube, be sure to stay tuned. We're going to go back on the radio when we come back from break, and you can listen to us live on SiriusXM Progress 127. This is MIP.